All of the great players will eventually be compared to each other, so it's only natural that there are discussions about the similarities between LeBron James and Michael Jordan, who are widely considered the two best players in NBA history. But just how similar are these two superstars? It would make sense that LeBron copied some of MJ's moves because he grew up idolizing Jordan's greatness in Akron, Ohio. After passing Jordan on the NBA's regular season scoring list in 2019, he told reporters, "I was watching from afar. I wanted to be like MJ. I wanted to shoot fadeaways like MJ. I wanted to stick out my tongue on dunks like MJ, wear my sneakers like MJ. I wanted kids to look up at me someday like MJ." It's crazy. I mean, me and my friends, this is all we talked about. MJ. All we talked about was MJ. We used to play outdoor ball in the snow and we all wanted to be MJ, every last one of us. It's crazy. LeBron started to mimic his idol early in his career, from donning the iconic 23 he still rocks today to the way he dressed for his basketball games as a young player. If Jordan did it, there was a good chance a young James did something very similar a short while later. "I did pretty much everything that MJ did when I was a kid," James said in 2017. "I shot fadeaways before I should have. I wore a leg sleeve on my leg and folded it down so you could see the red part. I wore black and red shoes with white socks. I wore short shorts so you could see my undershorts underneath. I didn't go bald like Mike, but I'm getting there. It'll be post-career though. That's the only thing I didn't do. But other than that, I did everything Mike did. I even wore a wristband on my forearm. So I didn't do a hoop earring either. That was Mike. But I did everything Mike did, man. I wanted to be Mike." Nowadays, James is very aware that he isn't Jordan, saying on several occasions that the two of them play very different styles of games. But LeBron is still very complimentary of the role MJ played in his life and getting him to where he is today. It's why he spent more than 90 seconds after breaking Jordan's career playoff scoring record talking about the impact Jordan had on his basketball career. "I wear the number because of Mike. I think I fell in love with the game because of Mike, just seeing what he was able to accomplish," James said at the time. "But I felt like Mike was so, when you're growing up and you're seeing Michael Jordan, it's almost like a god. So I didn't ever believe I could be Mike. So I started to focus myself on other players and other people around my neighborhood, because I never thought you could get to a point where Mike was. So I think that helped shape my game. And I think the biggest thing for me sitting here today after breaking the all-time scoring record in playoff history is that I did it just being me." Still, James was an advocate for the NBA to retire the number 23 league-wide, similar to what the NHL has done with 99 and the MLB has done with 42. Even though he was still wearing 23 at the time, James said in 2009, "If you see 23, you think about Michael Jordan. You see guys flying through the air, you think about Michael Jordan. You see game-winning shots, you think about Michael Jordan. You see fly kicks, you think about Michael Jordan. He did so much, it has to be recognized, and not just by putting him in the Hall of Fame. He can't get the logo, and if he can't, something has to be done. I feel like no NBA player should wear 23. Nobody. If I'm not gonna wear number 23, then nobody else should be able to wear it." James did wear number 6 in Miami because the Heat had retired 23 in Jordan's honor, despite MJ never playing for Miami. However, he has returned to wearing number 23 in Los Angeles with the Lakers, at least until he can give the number to Anthony Davis and return to wearing number 6 for the 2021-22 season. Those who missed most of Jordan's career probably know the chalk toss as LeBron's tradition and try to copy it in their own games. But LeBron might have actually been inspired by a far more reserved version from MJ during his career. While James throws the powder into the air with a cloud of chalk dust descending around him, MJ was far more pointed with his toss. Once he was getting into the starting lineup regularly, Jordan would clap the talcum powder off his hands in the general direction of Bulls broadcaster Red Kerr. If the purpose was to annoy the Bulls' first coach, it didn't work, as Kerr and his broadcast partner began to make a spectacle of the event with various masks and other implements to keep the chalk off of them. It turned into a superstition for Jordan, who would go seek out Kerr if he had radio duties instead of television for a given game. He even did it in 2009 when Kerr was honored with a statue at the United Center. James altered that tradition with his explosive toss of the chalk into the air during his time in Cleveland. The moment became an important pregame sequence for every Cavaliers home game, as fans behind the scorer's table began bringing strips of paper to throw into the air like confetti when James would throw the powder in the air. It created a beautiful scene, though James rarely brought the tradition with him to Miami when he signed with the Heat. He slowly did it more with the Lakers as he's had more success in Los Angeles this past season. Another way James has seemingly copied Jordan was the use of simple press releases to announce major moves.
Are you a business owner looking to stand out? Let your brand shine, literally, with a custom neon sign from Glow Neo, transforming your logo into a vibrant LED masterpiece that grabs attention day or night. Whether it's a storefront, office, or event space, neon signage sets you apart from the competition. Plus, with our free design preview and fast turnaround, it's never been easier. Ready to light up your business? Visit glowneo.com and go to the Business Neons page and fill out the form. Get started today.
Many criticized LeBron for his overproduced, overhyped hour-long television special, The Decision, when he decided that he was going to sign with the Miami Heat in 2010. He gave Sports Illustrated the exclusive in 2014 when he decided to rejoin the Cavaliers with a spread in the magazine titled, "I'm Coming Home." But when he decided that it was time to take his talents to Los Angeles, it was a far more reserved process. LeBron's management group sent out a short press release via Twitter announcing that James was signing with the Lakers. The message simply read, "LeBron James, 4-time NBA MVP, 3-time NBA Finals MVP, 14-time NBA All-Star, and 2-time Olympic gold medalist, has agreed to a 4-year, $154 million contract with the Los Angeles Lakers." Many in Chicago see a lot of similarities to how Jordan announced his return to the Bulls in 1995. Granted, there was no Twitter back then, so Jordan's agent simply sent out a fax with a 2-word statement from Jordan: "I'm back." Jordan would go on to win 3 more titles with the Bulls before retiring again, then returning with the Wizards. But Jordan tried to limit the spectacle around those announcements as much as he could. It's a lesson LeBron seemed to learn after making a third move in his career. Even off the court, LeBron has followed in MJ's legacy in many of his endeavors. LeBron joined Nike as its new face right as Jordan was retiring from the league, though the Air Jordan brand is still the most iconic shoe in Nike's repertoire. The inside scoop of how LeBron ended up as a Nike athlete and eventually signed a lifetime deal with the shoe company worth in excess of $1 billion is detailed by Aaron Dodson at The Undefeated. Nike had a distinct advantage in being the home of Jordan, and we've established that James grew up idolizing Jordan. But their offer was significantly less than what Reebok offered James. Still, James believed in the future Nike was pitching him the same way Jordan bought into that vision when he was coming out of North Carolina. Of course, Nike was the underdog in negotiations with Jordan, and his mother had to force MJ onto the plane to take the meeting. But after being blown away by the attention and money that the company was willing to throw at him, most notably starting the Air Jordan brand, it was hard for Jordan to say no. It was a similar feeling for James, who said in the press release announcing his commitment to Nike, "Nike is the right fit and has the right product for me at the right time. They are a good company that is committed to supporting me throughout my professional career on and off the court." Nike went out of its way to make the perfect pitch to LeBron in order to secure the player they assumed would take over as the league's best player in short time. The company had thought of everything, including having Fruity Pebbles, LeBron's favorite cereal, on hand in case he needed a snack. The hallway leading up to the room where the meeting would take place was lined with almost every signature shoe of the past decade or so, ending in an empty pedestal under a spotlight to signify LeBron's place. It was the single greatest plan I've ever seen put together, E. Scott Morris, then a senior footwear designer for the Nike basketball division, told The Undefeated. No detail was missed. Everything they thought he might think, somebody's job was to make sure it was available for his use or experience. When LeBron signed his lifetime deal with Nike in 2016, he was still only a small but substantial part of the company's success. Based on the 2015 revenue generated by Nike, only about 0.4% of that $30.6 billion, or $340 million, could be traced back to sales of James sneakers in the US. However, Jordan sold roughly $3 billion worth of sneakers in the United States and accounted for roughly 8% of Nike's revenue. So although James' popularity means plenty of shoe sales and plenty of income, he still has a long way to go to catch his idol at Nike. James also took over the mantle for Jordan in the Space Jam franchise a quarter century after the original was released. Jordan starred in the iconic original movie and led the Toon Squad to a victory over the Monstars more than 20 years ago. The movie was a box office smash, earning more than $230 million in theaters, which doesn't include an ever-growing audience that has found the movie over the past 2 decades. There were actually plans for a sequel to the movie in 1997, but Jordan never agreed to star in the movie, and the work around the plot and the art was shut down. That is where James steps in, as Space Jam: A New Legacy is set to hit theaters, or the equivalent, in July 2021. Filming took place from June to August 2019, and James released the title and logo for the movie in April 2020 during the break in the NBA season. Similar to Jordan, James will lead a team of Looney Tunes in a big basketball game. But unlike Jordan, who wagered his own captivity, James will be playing to rescue his son, Bronny. Some other notable NBA stars are set to make an appearance, including Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard, and Chris Paul. But the movie will also feature WNBA stars Diana Taurasi, Nneka Ogwumike, and Chiney Ogwumike as well. It will be curious to see how well this latest reboot does when it's released, but it certainly is one of the most anticipated films of 2021. It hits the perfect market between the young basketball fans who found Space Jam well after its release, and the fact so many of the people who saw the original film in theaters are now parents who might want to spread that joy to their children. It should easily smash the numbers the original put up, even when counting for inflation. So that's one area where LeBron might reign supreme over MJ. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.